What is going on, guys? This is Miasin. So I think it's been a while since my last real Iceberg video. I recently made kind of like a video on a combo that people are utilizing with Prima Donna where they can summon the water bearer statue. It wasn't really in-depth. It was just one combo and that's it. But today I'll show you guys 5 combos as well as an updated deck profile because this deck is going to be out in like a few days. I do believe it is going to be one of the best decks in the format for sure. And it's especially good with the runic engine because I think the pure build, it just lacks a little bit of some layers of play. It can only really normal summon a monster and then maybe one extender and stuff like that. It doesn't really have a really toolboxy deck, but with the runic engine you can just do so much. Anyways, before we proceed, friendly reminder to smash the like and subscribe button. Of course, you already know the drill. And also a huge shout out to my sponsors Inspire TCG, Dueling Guard, and Card Brawlers, and make sure to check them out using my coupon code. Links will all be in the description box below. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Alright, so combo number 1, assuming that you only have Revealer and a discard, look at what you can do. It's pretty good because it also beats Nibiru. Anyway, special summon the Hexa. This is a Foolish Burial and also becomes the level of the monster that you're foolishing. So now this becomes level 2 because you're sending Mirror Magic, which is level 2. And when Mirror Magic is sent to the graveyard from anywhere, it gets to search either from your deck or banish to your hand an Icebearer card. So you're going to be searching for the speaker of the Icebearer and special summon that and then overlay for Bahamut Shark. And this is summon number 4, so Toad is going to be summon number 5, meaning that Nibiru does not bother us. And then we link off into Marincess Coral Anemone and then revive back the Mirror Magic, tribute it, and then summon 3 tokens and then synchro off into Coral Dragon, banish the speaker since we control an Icebearer monster, summon a level 1 token, and then we can synchro into the Ravenous Croc, Chilling Quench, Chilling 2, so draw 4 cards off of one single card, which is not too bad because, again, this is Nibiru proof. Alright, so in this situation, I will be drawing a lot of cards, and I will be making a massive board because my hand is quite good. It's much better than just having Revealer and nothing else. So I've got Revealer with Medallion and Runic Slumber. I mean, the Medallion can be the card that you're trying to search, so it doesn't really have to be Medallion. And this card is not once per turn, and it searches any Icebearer monster from your deck to your hand. Much, much, much better than Reinforcement of the Army. So yeah, normal summon that, and then discard your other card, special summon the Mirror Magic, and then activate the Medallion, search for the Speaker, and then special summon that, and then overlay into Bahamut Shark. Again, this is also Nibiru proof, summon the Toad, and then link off into the Coral Anemone, and then search for the Georges this time, and then Coral, revive back the Mirror Magic, and then tribute, summon 3 tokens. We also have the Speaker, so we can do the exact same play. And we're going to be drawing a lot of cards yet again, but before we use the Speaker effect in the grave, we want to be able to revive back. Doesn't really have to be because we can also revive back the Revealer, but we want to have an Icebearer monster on the field so that we can summon the Georges because we do have to control an Icebearer monster for its in-hand effect to be alive. But yeah, revive back either the Speaker or Revealer because we're going to be syncing it off anyways into the Lancia, which is not an Icebearer monster, by the way. It's an Ice Mountain. I think that's the new TCG name. Konami is actually trolling us. It's exactly like the Spygal Misty, one letter away from being the nuts. Anyways, synchro into Ravenous Croc again and draw 4 freaking cards, and we can draw in even more cards if luck is on our side because with Runic Tip we can get the Fountain, and then Fountain and whatever other runic card that we can use right away. Draw 3 cards, draw 4 off of Ravenous Croc, and draw 3 off of Fountain. We got 5 cards in our hand and a massive board. Alright, so in this hand, my hand is not particularly good. I have Runic Destruction, General Wayne, and Georges, so I don't have Revealer or Mirror Magic or anything like that, but I can still make it work. So yeah, draw phase, I will be going Runic Destruction in order to summon the Hugin, and I will be discarding the General Wayne, and then search the Fountain, and then we will be Tribute Summoning for the Georges, revive back the General Wayne, which will be searching for the Medallion, which can search any monster. So even though this card can only search a spell and trap, it can technically search any card. And then, yeah, summon number 5 exactly is going to be the Lancia because summon number 1 was Hugin, 2 was Georges, 3 was Wayne, 4 was Speaker, and then 5 is Lancia. And we will be proceeding to end phase. End of main phase, we get hit by Nibiru, and our board is going to be almost better. So yeah, we summon a token, and then the Lancia is going to trigger in order to synchro summon Trishula from the extra deck. This card does not miss timing because the last thing to happen was the summon of Trishula, because the Lancia was in Chain Link 1. Make sure to keep that into consideration. So if you can chain block, the Lancia still has to be Chain Link 1 and everything else has to be Chain Link 2 or higher. Anyways, Trishula will trigger, so banish 1 monster from the field, well, 1 card from the field, 1 card from the hand, and then 1 card in the graveyard. All of them are optional. It's not like the ritual version of Trishula where it has to have at least 1 target from 1 location. So yeah, this is a legal move. And we're not locked under anything, so we can use the effect of Speakers of the Icebearer in the grave, summon a token. And this is an Icebearer monster, thank God. And we can link off into an IP Masquerada, and past turn there, it's 2 interruption through a Nibiru, and we also made our opponent lose 2 cards. so the Nibiru itself and another card in our hand, which is really good considering the fact that this combo was kind of mediocre. We got really unlucky. Alrighty, so this combo is not really a combo that is super realistic, but it might happen if your opponent does not necessarily know what deck you're playing. There is going to be a lot of mind games in here. But yeah, draw phase, you will be going into the Hugin, of course, off of the Runic Quick Play, and you won't be discarding the Ice Bearer, otherwise it's going to be so obvious that you're playing Ice Bearer because you're giving away way too much information. So I might as well discard the Nibiru because the Revealer can discard the Ice Bearer anyways, and if I discard Nibiru, then my opponent doesn't know what deck I'm playing. Therefore, there is a very high likelihood that this baits an Imperm, meaning that my Revealer can go through, because sometimes your hands can't play through an Imperm. So because of the fact that I was able to bait it, now it resolves. I summon the Mirror Magic, and then I can tribute the Hugin, summon 3 tokens, and this is going to be going pretty crazy because I can go into the Coral Dragon. If I get Nibiru here, I really don't care because I am going to be beating Nibiru by going Coral Dragon and Revealer sync into the Lancia, so that if I do get Nibiru, I summon Shishula and then banish the Nibiru and another card in the hand. So let's just assume that I get Nibiru here because, again, people might be scared of Lancia. I will draw 1 card off of the Coral Dragon. The Ice Bearer is going to be Foolishing for the General Wayne, and I will recycle it back. And if I control an Ice Bearer monster, I can special summon that General Wayne from the hand, which is pretty nice. But yeah, Freezing Chains, revive back the Revealer, and then special summon General Wayne. And on the summon, we get to search our deck for a spell and traps, so I will be searching Medallion into Georges, and then special summon the Georges, and then revive back the Mirror Magic as if we never got a hand trap. This is crazy. And then synchro off into the Lancia anyway, so you want to prevent me from getting there, I'm gonna make it the hard way. After all that, there is literally just no way you lose. Alrighty, last combo. This is absolutely disgusting because your opponent can have all the Veilers and all the Drolls in the world, and it's not gonna change anything because this deck is too good. What can I say? Anyways, draw phase, activate any runic spell, and then summon the Hugin, and then discard another runic spell. And we are going to be normal summoning the Mirror Magic. By the way, so far we are undrollable or unveilable because this happened in the draw phase. But yeah, normal summon and then go into Herald of Arclight, and from here on out, Veiler and Droll are useless because this card is kind of like a Dark Law for monsters in the hand and deck. Instead of going to the grave, they get banished, but it doesn't affect spells and traps, so you can still get hit by Droplet if your opponent sends spells and traps. Anyways, Mirror Magic is going to be searching for Freezing Chains, the Monster Reborn, revive that back, activate your runic spell, and then summon the Hugin and draw 3 cards. I love doing this. And we also have a monster to tribute for the Mirror Magic to get ourselves 3 monsters. And we drew into Runic Tip, which is very important in this situation because of the play that I'm about to show in 2 seconds. And anyways, summon Coral Dragon and then sync off into Prima Donna and then draw 1 card off of the Coral Dragon. And Runic Tip not only search a runic card but also banish 1 card from our opponent's deck. And because of the fact that there is now a card in our opponent's banish, the Prima Donna can activate its effect, put back that Droll in our opponent's hand, but also summon a level 4 water monster from the deck. And that could be the Water Bearer statue, which I showcased in my last video, but you could also summon an extender. So if you don't want to main deck the Bearer statue, you can just summon something like Revealer, and then Revealer can use its effect, and you can keep playing the game like crazy. So summon the Georges from the deck, and then revive back the Mirror Magic, and then synchro into Dragite, and then synchro into the Lancia. Dragite, Lancia, Herald of Arclight, a bunch of cards in our hand, and all of that through as many Veilers and Drolls as possible. And even if our opponent had Nibiru, Herald of Arclight can just negate Nibiru. So it's really not the end of the world, and we drew a lot of cards before our opponent could even get to do anything against us. This deck is the nuts. Okay, so for the deck list, I think this deck is relatively straightforward if you don't overcomplicate things for no good reason. But the Runic Engine, I'm gonna start with that because it's literally just a no-brainer. So double Fountain, and then 3 of every single good runic spell. This is almost the Joshua staple. But yeah, 3 Freezing Curses, this is the best one, I think. Well, obviously Tip is the best one. And then Freezing Curses, the second best because you can negate a monster effect. Flashing Fire, destroy a special summon monster. Runic Destruction is an MST, and Runic Slumber is actually one of the most interesting ones post game 1 because when you summon your Bearer statue, your opponent might go normal summon a monster and then try to go battle phase attack over, and you can go Runic Slumber, prevent that monster from attacking, or Slumber on yourself so that the Bearer statue doesn't die by battle. So yeah, all these cards serve a lot of utility, and I love all of them, but also the fact that you can summon a Hugin, which can be the tribute fodder for Mirror Magic, or you can use it as a synchro material for Herald of Arclight, so just so that you can beat every hand trap, is one of the ways that you just destroy hand traps when you are playing this deck. So yeah, you really have to play the Runic Engine, and honestly, I do believe that the way I'm playing this deck is probably the most optimal. But yeah, for the Ice Bearer cards, 3 Revealer, 1 card starter, makes sense. 3 Medallion. Medallion is any Ice Bearer card, so that also makes sense, and it's not once per turn. There is no reason not to play 3. 3 Mirror Magic, which is either an extremely good discard fodder for your runic cards because it still triggers to search, again, you can send it from anywhere and it always will trigger. And if you normal summon it, it's also a very good card. One speaker, you don't need any more. It's just an extender, but it doesn't do anything on its own. Hexa is technically a one-card combo, but it doesn't do much. It's really just, I think it's Dragite, draw one, pass. One General Raiho, which is a monster that you never want to draw, but I mean, if you draw it, you just discard it for the runic cards. But you summon it with Lancia, and then every single time your opponent activates a monster effect, either he has to discard a card from the hand, or the monster effect is negated completely. So yeah, this card can really burn your opponent's resources very, very quickly. It's one of the best Ice Bear monsters to summon off of Lancia. And then one General Wayne, which is just a one-of because it's a good card to always summon every single turn. You always search every single turn you summon this card. It's a lot of advantage that you're generating. And then Double Georges, because this card is an extender, but only when you control an Ice Bear monster, but it's also a monster reborn, so it's slightly better than speakers, so that's the reason why I'm playing 2. I don't think 3 is correct. I used to play 3, but I think 2 is just the perfect number. And the only trap card is Ice Bear. So yeah, Ice Bear is an Ice Bear card, huh? Yeah, I know, shocking. But yeah, this card's pretty nice. Its on-field effect is irrelevant. It's just a really, really good card to discard or foolish or whatever. It has a nice effect, and you can search Gamma Seal. For the extra deck, we are playing one Gary, double Hugin, and for the synchros, Lancia, you can also play the Ice Jade, Jimir, Ajirin or something. Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Bear, finally an Ice Bear monster. Ravenous Croc, obviously. Dragite, again, obviously. Prima Donna, Coral Dragon, Herald of the Arclight, Bahamut, and Toad. Coral Anemone. And then the 2 most flexible spots in the extra deck could literally be anything. I think SP is a staple, you have to play it. But IP, it could be something else. I don't know, it could be the Ice Jade, it could be the second Lancia, or if there is another water synchro that you can summon that isn't too bad, you can play that. Nothing forces you to necessarily play IP, but you could also main deck Munin. Speaking of which, in the side deck, because for once, this is a side deck, not an idea section, Gamma Seal, again, you can search it with Ice Bear, and Ice Bear is searchable in this deck, so at any moment, if you have to deal with something, you can search a Kaiju, which is beautiful. Water Bear statue, this is also searchable in this deck, because, and then Munin for time, unfortunately, it is what it is. Every going second deck or whatever else in the side deck there might be, it's really just flexible. It depends on your environment, but Droll is a decent one, because you don't have the space for a lot of hand shops. Ash, I want to say, is like the most generic one, so if you have space for like 6 non-engine, and then Nibiru as well, but you could also play 6 board breakers instead. You could main deck evenly, and if you draw it going first, it's just going to be your discard fodder, and if you have it going second, then, you know, all the better for you. 3 Cosmic, even though this deck wipes the floor with stun decks, because the Runic Engine is extremely good against them. And finally, 3 Spellbound, which is good against Centurion, Purely, Flunderies, a lot of decks, honestly. I think this card is really, really good. I'm a huge fan of Spellbound. Anyways, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts about Runic Ice Bear in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.